YouTube, what's up? I'm back again. So I kind of wanted to finish this t-shirt thing. This is going to be episode number 2 of t-shirt Palooza, MetalMadness66's t-shirt collection. A journey through the closet, so to speak. And probably going to be about 3 episodes because I've got about another third of what I did Thursday night, and I'm going to kind of race through these. So you saw me wearing this one. It's Magic of the Moon by Dio, the only Dio shirt I own, and the coolest one. I think this artwork is rad, and I love this shirt, wear it a lot. Bought that online somewhere, it was not at a show. I've seen Dio, I saw Dio, I should say. I saw him 3 times solo. I never saw him with Sabbath, which I can't explain that. I just can't explain why I never saw him with Sabbath, but I saw him with Vivian, and I saw him with Rowan Robertson and Craig Goldie, 3 different guitar players. So fucking amazing performer, probably the greatest voice in metal, and you know, but that's not the greatest Dio album. Okay, some Morbid Angel, Blessed Are the Sick, 20 Years of Sickness. I got this at the Morbid Angel show in Philadelphia at the Trocadero, 2013, I believe. That was like early 2013. It was for the wonderful Elude, whatever pile of shit that album is. It really sucks, but they were great, but a little weird, man. There was like a lot of skinheads and strange people there, and David Vincent's kind of a douchebag. Sorry, Dave, if you're watching. I'm sure you're not. Yeah, that was kind of a strange show. It just felt like things were right on the verge of chaos, because there was a skinhead dude that was about 7 foot tall going in and pogoing and windmilling people, and I was like, I stayed back. I would watch from upstairs. I'm too old for that shit, but yeah, that dude was dangerous, and it was kind of scary. Morbid Angel, my only Morbid Angel shirt. I'm not the biggest Morbid Angel fan. I have all their shit, but I'm not like a diehard on them, to be honest with you. One of my other favorite bands you'll hear me talking a lot about on here, Fate's Warning. The, in my opinion, if not the very first, one of the very first progressive metal bands. Kind of set the template for Dream Theater and, you know, Symphony X and bands like that. But these guys are the best, in my opinion. I don't know where I got this. I think I got it off Metal Blade's site, because there was a while there where Fates were not touring. About 9 years they were kind of on hiatus, while Jim Matheos did stuff with John Arch and OSI and all that kind of stuff like that, and he just didn't tour much. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, probably my second favorite shirt, Candlemass, King of the Grey Islands. I love this shirt. I love Candlemass. I love this album, actually. I'm one of those weird guys that kind of likes all the eras of Candlemass. I love the first album with Johan and the last album with him, Lundquist, and then I love Messiah's stuff, but I'm not like a diehard that has to hear that. And I really like Robert Lowe when he was singing on this album, and Death Do Magic, and I can't remember the other one that he's on. I have it. Psalms for the Dead, I think, is the other one that he sang on. Oops, almost fell over there. Yeah, Robert Lowe was killer. And then they had 2 or 3 one-album singers, like on Abstract Algebra and the 13th. Shit, I'm forgetting the names of the albums. I'll have to, when we do my Candlemass thing, I'll bone up a little bit more. But I know they had 2 or 3 other vocalists, and they also had the dude that filled in, I saw him with down in 2017. Crap, I can't remember his name. I'll think of it. Okay, The Mighty Priest. I think this is the only Judas Priest shirt I own, which is kind of a travesty. But I've only seen Priest twice. I saw him on the Firepower tour, and I saw him on the Turbo tour in 1986 with Docket opening in Philadelphia, and it was on the Turbo tour. So, but you know, classic album cover. Keep the Faith on the back. Unfortunately, I bought this in a large, like a dipshit, and I don't wear it as much because I tried to shrink it and it didn't really shrink, which is unusual for those kind of shirts. All right, some more Maiden, The Trooper. Like I said, I probably have 6 or 7 Maiden shirts, and I've probably thrown at least 4 or 5 out. So you can't go wrong with Maiden, and certainly one of the most iconic covers, one of my favorites. Okay, Voivod, Nothing Face. Kind of sucks this one doesn't have artwork on the back, and the print is kind of weirdly kind of small for this shirt, and they only had larges, but I had to have a Nothing Face one. So I got this last April at the show where they opened up for Yeeaah in Philadelphia at the Union Transfer, and this is my favorite Voivod album, but I love them all. I have a Killing Technology shirt, and I got 2 or 3 other ones. They may show up in here. Voivod. Got this one at Decibel Metal Fest down in Philadelphia in 2019. Tomb Mold, Blood Mirror. Unfortunately, they didn't have Manner of Infinite Forms T-shirts, and they hadn't obviously put out Planetary Clairvoyance, which I love that shirt. So when I see them for that tour, I did see them for that tour, but they didn't have any shirts for that at the show. It was just a little club show in Philly. So I've seen Tomb Mold twice at Decibel Metal Fest and at the Kung Fu Necktie in Philadelphia, which was a tiny show and terrifying. I sat way on the outer edges of that one. Okay, these don't have any hangers because they were just coming out of the wash. Hooded Menace. Never Crossed the Dead, which is my favorite album by them. Actually, I love every Hooded Menace album, but this is my favorite one. Kind of wish it would have been more in color, but the black and white and red kind of really shows a nice juxtaposition of artwork. And if you don't know Hooded Menace, you probably do if you're watching this, but you should, because they fucking rule. One of my top 5 ever albums, Rainbow Rising. Again, Ronnie James Dio, so no surprise there. Richie Blackmore, Cozy Powell. You know, this album, it's a stone cold classic, and if you don't know it, you don't own it. I feel bad for you, but this fucking album rules, and the artwork is quite honestly one of the most coolest and iconic pieces of artwork from the 70s, I think, and of all bands, this thing just rules, man. It's so cool. All right, Yeeaah. Saw them at I think this is Devoid of Light. Yeah, Devoid of Light. Saw them at Decibel Metal Fest in April again last year, and I gotta say, other than Triptychon, who I really wanted to see, they stole the show for me. I don't like their new album very much, but that album and the other one, which I of course am not remembering the name of, are both fucking killer albums. Great band, really cool. Met Jake, the singer and main guy in it, super cool guy, although a lot of people think he's pretentious, but I thought he was really a cool guy. Great band, Yeeaah. Check them out if you haven't. And the classic In the Night Side Eclipse. Bought this one online somewhere. Unfortunately, I've never seen Emperor live. Would love to. I'm a pretty big fan of, obviously, of the first 4 Emperor, well, the split in the Night Side and Anthems and Equilibrium, which I just kind of got hit to in the last 2 months or so. Somehow I missed that one. I've had the final one, Equilibrium, for a long time. I'm not as big on that because that's more of an Ishan show. But love this artwork, classic artwork. I think that's, yeah, what's his name? Necrolord. King Crimson. If you're a metal guy, you should know King Crimson, because King Crimson, in a lot of ways, is pretty fucking metal in my book. Saw them in 2008 in Philadelphia at the Keswick Theater. Fucking amazing show. 6 of the most insane musicians on the planet. Adrian Ballou was still in the band at that time. Of course, Fripp, because Fripp's always there. Tony Levin on bass and stick. Gavin Harrison on drums and Pat Mastelotto on drums. Just fucking killer. August 11th and 12th in Philadelphia. I think I might have saw both shows, actually. This one's kind of special. I designed this shirt. I took the picture that's on the front there, and then I gave the artwork to Lasse Hoyle, who was Porcupine Tree's, and I'll talk about that in one sec here. He was their art director, and then he did some, you know, I don't know, Photoshop shit with it or whatever, and I ran Porcupine Tree's street team for about 10 years, yeah, about 10 years. I was kind of the main dude, and I put these together as a project for the street team members and the band, and ended up making like 1,700 of these, I think, or maybe it was 1,500, something like that, and sold them all over the world to people, and then I donated a shit ton of money to anti-animal cruelty charities for Steven and the guys in the band. If you don't know Porcupine Tree, they're an English progressive rock, semi-metal. I mean, if you took Tool, Jethro Tull, King Crimson, Pink Floyd, and mixed them up in a blender, you could kind of come up with Porcupine Tree. Great band, and this was, again, the street team t-shirt. And on the back, this was during the the Dead Wing tour, 2005, and that was the website, and Arriving Somewhat But Not Here was one of the main tracks on the album, so kind of proud of that shirt. Don't wear it very much, but proud of it. Killing Joke, one of my all-time fave bands. I got several Killing Jokes in here. This is the most recent one for their 40th anniversary, Laugh at Your Peril. This was in 2018, I saw them. Kick-ass artwork on this one, man. I love Killing Joke's artwork. Saw them at the soundstage down in Baltimore, and oddly enough was hanging out at the merch table getting some stuff, and Jazz walked out and started talking to me and my kid, and it was so funny because I introduced my son at the time to him, and he's like, "Oh, do you smoke pot with your boy?" And that was the first question he asked me. Didn't know me from Adam, and that was the first question he asked me. So Jazz is pretty much a nutter. The Fate, the Merciful Fate. Fucking love this album cover, and I usually get some odd looks when I walk around with it on. Not majorly, but I do get some funky looks. Merciful Fate, what can you say? It took me a long time to get into Merciful Fate because I struggle with King's vocals. I still kind of do struggle with his vocals. I get in a mode where I can dig them a lot, and then I gotta be in the mood for King. I just have to be. But that album rules. The music is fucking incredible. Okay, my favorite Rush album, my absolute pinnacle Rush album. I also have one of my second favorite Rush album coming up next. Got a ton of Rush shirts, as I've said. Rush Hemispheres. Love this artwork. I remember exactly where I was at, and when I bought this album, I was in 7th grade in Houston, Texas, when I lived there. The Greenspoint Mall, in a anchor store called Foley's. I don't think they're around anymore. I don't know if Greenspoint Mall's around anymore. Haven't been back there in 30 years. But I saw this artwork, and I was like, I gotta have that. My mom probably thought, uh-oh, what's the matter with this kid? But I still think that's one of the most iconic, coolest looking album covers ever. The artwork's great. Love the logo and the red script like that. And the brains, man, the brains rule. This is a repro of, I think, a 78 or 79 tour shirt. Of course, it doesn't have tour dates or anything like that, but I love this fucking shirt. Love that shirt. Alright, as we said in the first video, we got a bunch of Death shirts. Here's one of those baseball jersey raglans for Scream Bloody Gore, and I got that with the Scream Bloody Gore bundle for the limited edition 3 CD digipack. Jobby there. Great band. Cool shirt. I'm a big time Journey fan. Don't care if you're a metalhead and you want to give me shit about it, by all means go for it, but I love Journey. I think Steve Perry's one of the greatest singers ever in the history of music. Love this album, Infinity. Always, I love the, Evolution. Love the Infinity, Evolution, Departure artwork. That triumvirate of albums has some of the coolest artwork. I forget who did it. Somebody named Mouse. I don't know who that person is. I didn't look it up, but I love this Journey shirt. Never seen Journey. It's one band. I wish that could have gone on my 10 questions video, because I would have loved to have seen Journey. I can still see him, but obviously without Perry, it's kind of not the same thing. Arnel Pineda's good, but not the same thing. This is a boot. I think I got it for a pair of them for 15 bucks. For me and my kid when we went to the R40 show, in 2015 in Philadelphia at the Wells Fargo Center. This was the last tour Rush did. Will be the last tour they'll ever do, unfortunately, obviously, because Neil's gone. This thing was not cured when I got it, and well, it doesn't smell anymore, but it's very faded because I threw it in the wash and a lot of the oils leaked off or wicked off or whatever. Thankfully, it didn't ruin any of the other shirts in my load of laundry that day. But I think it's kind of a cool shirt. It's got a lot of the different ephemera type. What's it say down here? Celebrating 40 years. So that was, they didn't have an album out for that. They had put out Clockwork Angels in 13, I think it was 2013. Yeah, 2013, I believe. And I saw them twice for that tour, but then this was their final tour, which I'm so damn glad I went to because I had 16th row seats. Good buddy of mine, Bill Fry. You're probably not watching, but if you are, I think I still owe you $40 for that ticket. Those tickets, dude. I'll get to you one of these days. Anyways, got one for me and my kid, double-sided. The Starman, and just classic artwork, man. Not bad for boot as far as what it looks like. Unfortunately, it just they took them right onto the parking lot, right out of the fucking press probably, and ruined. It kind of ruined it. But another Fates Warning shirt. Get some fuzz on there. Cool raglan. Love this color. This gray and black. This looks so good. Saw this on the March of 19 Theories of Flight tour, which I've seen Fates now about 4 times, and unfortunately I didn't see them prior to them coming back in 2009. I missed out on them completely, even though they were one of my favorite bands. It just seemed like when they were playing somewhere I couldn't go, or they were opening on the West Coast for a big tour package or something, and I couldn't get to see them. So anyways, I got to see them, got to meet them. That was really cool. Ray and all the guys. Joey Vera was so cool. Ray was super cool. Jim was quiet but very cool. Bobby was really neat. And Mike Abdo, their touring guitarist, really, really cool. Talk to him on Instagram sometimes. Yeah, cool artwork. And just a kick-ass band. If you don't know Fates Warning, you should. Okay, last August, I went to Philly to the TLA to see Bell Witch and Neurosis. I think it was like my 8th or 9th time seeing Neurosis, one of my top 5 bands, which we'll get into because I got a big box set to unleash on you guys at some point with them. But Bell Witch really impressed me. I believe they did about 50 or 60%, probably about 60% of Mirror Reaper, which is on the back here. I just like this shirt. It was cheap. It was only $15. I wanted to support the guys. It's a cool looking shirt. Bell Witch, very, very cool. I'm probably going to take some shit for this. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. No fucks given. The Beatles. I like the Beatles. I love the Beatles, actually. Do I listen to them a lot? No, but they were one of the formative bands that got me into rock music in the 70s. And, Let It Be, classic album. Look, there's no Beatles album that's not good. I'm sure I will hear somebody say that's bullshit, but fuck you, I don't care. That's the only Beatles shirt I own. Nile, this is one I was talking about in the first video. And again, this was, oh, you know what? I did not see them on Gates of Setsu. I saw them on the What Should Not Be Unearthed in 2016. And I saw them down in Philadelphia at the soundstage. This one's kick-ass because it's got the... you can't really see it real good. Let's see if I can get it. I love this arm mummy on both sides. Really cool, really cool. My kid that went with me and got one of these, his ripped like right away though. But and then on this arm they've got the cool Nile and all the hieroglyphics and the cool ass shit. Okay, bought this one on Metal Blade. I've never seen King Diamond, and as I said, I gotta be in the mood for King Diamond, but I love his artwork and I love the artwork for them. So trippy and cool. Again, this is a freaking large. They sent me a large. I ordered the medium, but they sent a large, and I didn't send it back. So, great album. One of my 2 favorite Kings. I like Abigail and them the most. That's what I reach for when I go for King. one of the numerous Carcass shirts. I think I got this when I got Surgical Steel. I think it was in the bundle. Cool looking graphic on that one. I like that one. Wore that a lot. A lot. And I find, unfortunately, you know, one of the reasons I'm doing this closet thing is because, to be blunt with you, I don't even know what I have in there. I've forgotten. I have so many damn shirts. I've forgotten what is in there. And as a result, I kind of wanted to see what I had and, you know, pull some shit out that's in the back and pull it up to the front so that I wear some stuff that I haven't worn for a long time. Again, this In Sickness and in Health 2016, this was with Deaf Heaven opening in Reading, Pennsylvania at the, whatever, Club Reverb, I think it's called. Cool club, cool place. And I like this one, man. It's got all the tools of the trade, and the dates, venues, but I really like that front print, which they've used that to death. But I love it anyways. Carcass has some of the most kick-ass artwork. Okay, we're getting there. This one might be a little longer than the other one. Motorhead 35th anniversary. I can't read my Roman numerals properly. What t-shirt collection, if you're a metalhead, is complete without a Motorhead shirt? It's not. If you have a t-shirt collection without a Motorhead shirt, you need to go out and get a Motorhead shirt. Even if you don't like them. If you're a fucking metalhead and you don't like Motorhead, something's wrong with you. Nah, I get it. I was never a big Motorhead fan until the last 15 years or so. I kind of really started to appreciate him more than I had initially. More David Bowie. Classic Berlin era Bowie look. Maybe the Thin White Duke from around station to station. Love that shirt. Got this one online, not at a show, because I've never been able to see them here in the States. Missed them every time they've come or they've canceled when they were doing like Maryland Death Fest. My Dying Bride, my favorite My Dying Bride album is a line of Deathless Kings. Just really love this album. Love this band, although I'm not as keen on the last couple of albums they've put out. They're kind of mining the same ground a little too much for me at this point, but I love that shirt. One of my all-time favorite albums, Dirt, Alice in Chains. One of my all-time top 5 favorite bands, Alice in Chains. Love this artwork. I think that's Lane's girlfriend, who also died, I believe, from drug use, sadly. Tragic band, man. I was lucky enough to see Lane on the Facelift tour, so before this one, didn't buy a shirt at the show. They opened for Extreme, of all bands. Think of that. Extreme and Alice in Chains. Alice blew them off the fucking stage, and Extreme's not a bad band. You know, I think I might have one of their albums, but Nuno's a great guitar player. But Alice, man, Lane was just incomparable. My second favorite Rush album, A Farewell to Kings. You know, what's to say? It's Rush. It's fucking awesome. Got this in a package for the album Retir, Enslaved. I've seen Enslaved a couple times, but I never bought a shirt when I was at the show for some dumb reason. Great album, great band, absolutely fucking great, amazing band. I don't think there's a band out there that has a catalog quite like Enslaved, and we'll get into that later because we're going to do a deep dive that I'm going to tell you a little bit about at the end here, what I'm planning. Sabbath Never Say Die. Yeah, I know, I ripped on that cover, but this actually looks pretty cool. And it's Sabbath. My only Sabbath shirt. Porcupine Tree. We talked about that band when I showed you the t-shirt that I designed. This is my favorite album by them, called Signify. If you're into dark, proggy, cool shit, this band is, you know, hard to beat. Like I said, they're no longer a functioning band anymore. The main guy, Steve Wilson, does his solo stuff, but Signify, Porcupine Tree, great band. Okay, got about 6 more here. Corrupted. Alerta Rojo. This is an album cover. This I bought online. Corrupted, if you aren't aware of, they are a Japanese doom crust ambient band, and if you never checked them out, I can't even explain them to you. When I get to their albums I will, but I'll try, but they're hard to explain. What's weird about them is they're Japanese, but all their lyrics and vocals are in Spanish, and all their album titles are in Spanish. Very strange. Very, very strange. Zappa. Yeah, I'm a metalhead, but I'm a Zappa fan. Got a fair bit of his material. I don't think I'd ever have all of it because it would cost me a small mortgage on a house, or down payment on a house. But Zappa, can't go wrong with Zappa. Love fucking Frank Zappa. Okay, Michael Schenker Group. This is one of my t-shirts I have that I do not like. I bought it online and it's a piece of shit. You can tell. I mean, Marty, you're my resident screen printer. This thing's ass, man. It's just a terrible job. Ugh, it's just terrible. All the margins and the edges of the stuff look like shit. I think I only spent 15, 20 bucks on it, but still, that pissed me off when I got that shirt. It was a punk of shit like that. Anathema, when I saw them in 2013, this is the show I saw down in Philadelphia at the Underground Arts, and it had Mammoth opening, and Alcest was the middle band, and everybody left after Alcest. I think there was about 50 of us there for Anathema. Yeah, they're more proggy now than they used to be in their death doom sort of vibe when they first started, but I really love this band. Always have, always will. Seen them twice here in the States. Saw the Kavanaugh Brothers do an acoustic thing 2 times opening for a different band. So yeah, Anathema, great band. Even though they're no more. Jimi Hendrix, Fender, not a concert shirt, just cool. 3 more here, I think. Dream Theater. I hate this album. It's a shitty Dream Theater album, but I got free tickets from my buddy Serge to go see them in Hershey, Pennsylvania. The show was good. It was a good show. You know, they're a great fucking band. I've seen Dream Theater probably at least 10 times, maybe. I don't know, something like that. And I had other shirts, but I don't think I have any left that aren't trashed, or I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any of the classic albums, so I got one of these because I didn't have a Dream Theater shirt. And yeah, Dream Theater, still a good band. The last album they did was really good, but that album, the Astonishing, is a pile of astonishing shit. Triptychon. These were the headliners on Sunday at Decibel Metal Fest in Philadelphia, and I had to get a shirt. I wasn't blown away by the shirt. It's kind of weird. The artwork's not centered and it's kind of angular and odd, but I had to have a Triptychon shirt. I love Triptychon, love Tom G. Voivod, we talked about Voivod. And, you know, some of the most classic and unusual and distinct artwork in the metal field. Away, Michael Langevin, Away, does great stuff. And speaking of that, I have this that I got at that show too, which is Away's hardback art book, which when we get to Voivod, we'll go over that a little bit more. But it was kind of cool because he personally autographed it to me. And again, that was in April of 19. I saw them rather. And last one, Hooded Menace, my other Hooded Menace shirt for the last album, Ossuarium Silhouettes Unhallowed. Fantastic album. Came in a bundle from Seasons of Mist, I believe. I think this is 18. Would love to see these guys. Hope that maybe they can get on a Maryland Death Fest in the future. So, real quick, I'm working on a couple things. I'm going to do a deep dive, retrospective, whatever you want to call it, on Opeth. And I'm hoping to do that with my buddy John from Metalhead's podcast, and we're going to do like a chat thing, you know, a Zoom or StreamYard deal, and we're going to dig back. John is a massive Opeth fan. He and I, he's seen him probably 24 times, maybe more, I'm not sure. He's flown to England to see him, he's flown to LA to see him, may have even been in Vegas, I can't remember, but he's been all over the, you know, on both sides of the pond, and he's seen him a gazillion times. I've seen him 12 to 15 times, maybe not 15, maybe 10 to 12, I can't remember. I know I've seen him more than 10 times. And a lot of those times I was with John, and we were either traveling to Philly or New York or DC or wherever. We've seen him a bunch of different times at a bunch of different places. So we'll get on that. Oddly enough, I only have two Opeth shirts when I had a shit ton of them, and I don't know where they got to. Some may still be in my drawers in my dresser in my storage unit, which I'm hoping to get them out next week. I had a lot of shirts that I folded and put in there that were kind of like sleep shirts that were not my regular uniform wearable shirts. But with this many shirts, and I still probably have another 40 in there, man, you know, I end up wearing the same 15, 20 shirts. It's kind of stupid. So that's why I kind of mixed everything and pulled everything out. Also, I'm going to work on a frontline assembly. If you're into industrial metal, whatever you want to call it, industrial dance. Frontline Assembly was a huge band for me in the mid-90s that I got into, and I probably own 99% of what they put out. And my buddy Serge is hopefully going to work on that episode with me. We'll do a tag team type thing on, you know, how we got into the band, what brought us to them, the shows we went to. Serge has been to a half dozen. I've been to at least a half dozen Frontline shows. Yeah, so that's that. Hope you enjoyed number 2 T-shirt Palooza episode here. There's going to be at least a third, and there might be a fourth, a short fourth one. So stay tuned, because I think I'm going to drop one more video today. I think I'm going to do a short video on my Death collection, because it's something easily that I can access and kind of talk about extemporaneously, and it'll be some music content as opposed to just t-shirts and shit. Alright, so you guys take it easy. Have a good Saturday afternoon.